You will see God's hands in everything if you leave everything in God's hands. Was the meme discussion. Um, it's often said that, people turn down help because they said, well, I want help direct from God. And they turn down help. They turn down help. And then, something happens and eventually they end up in heaven and then they talk to God and they said, well, I was expecting you to help me. And God looks at you and said, well, I sent those people. Those people are my hands to help you with. Because God is non-physical on planet Earth. So you are God's hands. How do you know when you're supposed to be about God's business? You're supposed to be about God's business all the time. How do you know? You have to work on raising your consciousness on the scale of human consciousness. Because it becomes more and more of your divine version of you. Your soul is what I was going to say. It's you. It's the part of you that you don't know about. It's the part of you that didn't incarnate. It's the part of you that knows how to sing. Does it know how to play music? I think it does. How come we don't get the downloads? Well, we're hoping that we're going to get more downloads of, how to do things. We're hoping. So how do you let things go into God's hands? Well, your soul, your divine version of you, is the God version of you, your God self, and it knows. And you're going, I don't really know if I should mail this letter tonight or wait till tomorrow. I don't, most things I don't really know. Well, then you're, like everybody else. Because even when you let go of control, you still don't know. God doesn't tell you in advance what you're going to do for the day. It's more and more, less and less, like what, your average salesman does now. Your average salesman, he's got his agenda of clients he's got to see. And, some bosses want to see, for the next 2 weeks, I want to have it all booked up. I want to see it every day electronically. I want to see. Because you got to be busy, otherwise I'm not going to pay you. But you got to get rid of all of that stuff. Because that's all ego. Because everything to do with money making opportunities is ego. You're going to say, well, how does a soul make money? Well, I don't know. They don't make money. Souls do God's business. Wasn't God's business about looking after people with soul? Well, do you like soul music? I don't know. Anyways, you throw away everything to do with knowing what's going to happen. Because that's the way it is. Even when you're walking towards the bathroom and you think you're going to go for a pee, you might get sidetracked and you're going to say, well, you got ADHD. Well, no. It's called being in the moment, and something happened in the moment. And not being task-oriented where I have to pee first because moment to moment to moment, that's what it is, what happens. And what you are is the silent witness watching what the body does and, what the body says. Why? Because, well, when you're the ego and you decide what you're going to say, well, you're not at 540 on the scale of human consciousness. Which means you're going to reincarnate as maybe, I don't know, anything on planet Earth. But you ain't going to have another human lifetime unless you get your consciousness level up, way up on the scale of human consciousness. Just because when consciousness researcher David R. Hawkins was doing research into the scale of human consciousness, he found that humans on planet Earth are not cutting the mustard. He told us that it was possible for every human on planet Earth to get to 540 on the scale of human consciousness in this lifetime. And he said, get to work, waste no time. Because the wheel of karma is right behind you, about to kick you on the ass. If you don't get up high on the scale of human consciousness, then you miss the keys out of reincarnation. Because the Buddha was enlightened under the Bodhi tree, and the Bodhisattvas got enlightened too, and they're all holding space. They're all waiting for you to get the idea that, the best thing for you to do, human being, right now, in this lifetime, is get your consciousness enlightened. Because otherwise you're going to come back and have to deal with all the horrible karma that you incurred as a human in this lifetime and whatever your previous lifetimes were, human or animal. It's an absolute horror. Because you might have, like if you ate a lot of burgers, I don't know, how many cows did you eat? Well, you're going to have to replace those cows. And all the chickens, you're going to have lifetimes as chickens for all the chicken burgers. All the fish, seafood, roast beef, veal parmigiana, roast lamb, Greek dinner. I had all this stuff. No one put it to me the way I'm putting it to you. No one did. Because it didn't seem really like we didn't have Buddhist temples in Thunder Bay. So this idea of whatever the Buddhist was, when we were young, we just weren't exposed to it. A little bit in the movies, here and there. But, with the internet and everything, and, Dalai Lama became, a worldwide name. Everybody knows who the Dalai Lama is, and he's a Buddhist. And he's Tibetan, and everybody knows about the Tibetan Book of the Dead and reincarnation now. But most people still don't put, it as a priority item. Because the only way out of reincarnating, as all of these farm animals, for you, dear viewer, is you got to be enlightened, which means on the scale of human consciousness, you got to get way, way, way up there. 700 is enlightened states. David R. Hawkins told everybody you can get to 540 in this lifetime, and said waste no time. Because if you drop dead without getting to higher levels of consciousness, then, your next lifetime, I don't know, if you want to be a scorpion, a bat, a great white shark, a parrot. The only animal that we know. Now, it may be possible that some animals are at a higher consciousness than what David R. Hawkins told us, because he didn't give us any enlightened states for dolphins. No. But some people say that, that they're way higher in consciousness than we think. So, I don't know. Anyways, that's what he gave us. The only people that we know, the only beings on planet Earth that we know of that can become enlightened are humans. So this is it, baby. This is your only chance. You blow this, I don't know, how many more lifetimes you as an animal before you have another human lifetime? How many burgers have you eaten in this lifetime? Because you got to replace all those farm animals that you ate. You, as a lifetime, as a cow. Again and again and again and again. Because you got to pay that back. I don't know. It's so important. Your next lifetime. I said in my last video, I'll say it again. When you're going to play golf and you want to do well, when you're setting up for your shot, think about the next shot. Where do I need to land this ball so that the next shot is going to be easy? I need to put the ball where the next shot I'm going to take, it's an easy shot. So that's how you decide where you're going to put the ball. If you put that much effort into thinking about golf, don't you want to put that much effort in thinking about what your next fucking lifetime's going to be? Yogananda, Autobiography of a Yogi, told us that, if you were a sincere student of his lineage, of yogis, your next lifetime will be in a different world altogether. You won't be on Earth. You'll be full of yogis. So, it won't be violent. And do yogis play golf? I don't know. Anyways, there's many more worlds than these. But if you want a better world where you can play golf, it just may be that your soul wants you to do more things than just play golf. I don't know. It depends on who you are. Anyways, your chances of playing golf are better if you raise your consciousness into enlightened states than 50,000 lifetimes as a chicken. This is the reality on planet Earth, folks. I know it is not on NBC News with Lester Holt every night, but this is the real. This is the real. Best minds that are out there, the Dalai Lama camp, are going to tell you again and again and again. Otherwise, if you want to look at it from the Christian view, and what have you got as options in the Christian calendar? Well, if you follow the path of Jesus, then you can go to Jesus' heaven, New Jerusalem. But, Jesus calibrated at 1,000 on the scale of human consciousness, and in Thunder Bay, the, collective calibrates at 203, so really not going in the direction of Jesus. Well, you're here in purgatory, and I guess what's going to happen is maybe they'll give you another shot at a purgatorial realm. I don't know. They said that they scrubbed out all the information about reincarnation. They said that the Christian Bible used to have information about reincarnation, but it was scrubbed out along the way because they didn't want people to talk about reincarnation. So, but they do say, it's quite possible that Jesus was Elijah. And it's quite possible that Jesus is Krishna from the Hindu pantheon. Just some things that we picked up along the way. Set yourself up for your next golf shot. Get Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, the book by David R. Hawkins. Watch lots of David R. Hawkins on YouTube. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Get the book and watch lots of Eckhart Tolle on YouTube for free. Stop eating meat. And whatever you learn from your teachers, then you got to do it. Otherwise, 50,000 lifetimes as a chicken.